Well, one thing that I will say for sure is that Jovon is absolutely diabolical. Baby, listen, come on up in here. Come on up in here. I'm here to talk about Divorced Sisters, episode 3, season 1. Baby, that Jovon is diabolical. He really is. You stood yourself up in this woman's living room with all this drama. You can't see it's a dangerous person to literally stand 10 toes down in a mess and befriend someone knowing that you got a whole thing going on with their mate and you sitting there. That is wicked. That is wicked. I don't want to hurt him. I'm not trying to hurt him. I came here for you. I said, are you kidding me? And Geneva, I'm like, girl, if I told you I feel sorry for you, I'd be lying. If I told you that I felt sorry for you, I would be lying. See, this is why I tell y'all all the time that I am obsessed with love triangles. Love triangles are so, oh my goodness, especially when you're writing, you're doing a creative writing situation, because the real life piece of a love triangle, it can go anywhere. When I get this in my hand and I get that in my head, and I'm talking about a love triangle, trust me, the places that my mind goes, the things that I've seen and what I can imagine, it just unlimited possibilities. Unlimited. I could probably write 1,900 books and just give me a love triangle and I could just go. But this was just too much. It was everything. He's diabolical though. Fine as he is, but he is just something serious. He's dangerous is what he is. I mean, you just put it all out there. Stand in the living room, talking smack. You think the baby is yours. Then she cold-blooded too. You didn't use the name Anika for the baby. Y'all actually have, I mean, she's just as cutthroat and vicious as him. I mean, you have to have literally been hating William at the time to even get to all this. You going through IVF with William, but you over here screwing him with no condoms. You just going for broke. And then y'all done discussed a baby's name and all of this. Like you were really carrying on like you were a woman that didn't have a husband. You were carrying on. And I mean, yes, marriages have their issues, but you were carrying on just as though you had nothing going on at all, sis. So like I said, if I were to tell you I felt sorry for Geneva, I would be lying. No, I don't. This is what karma looks like. This is what karma looks like. Karma will turn your whole life upside down. He done walked on off, went with somebody else 6 years ago, and talking about he ended that. Talking about y'all both. He said, we both discussed this and we were going to leave them for each other. I did it. Now it's your turn. Dude, are you crazy? You went and tried to make a life of it. 6 years later, it didn't work out. So now you think I'm going to uproot my life for you? You're crazy. They were both crazy for having those types of conversations. And look how you got everybody else all drawn into it. You got a baby drawn into it. You got your husband drawn into it. Now he up here done befriended your husband. And the karma didn't stop there. The karma was just getting started for Miss Geneva. The karma was just getting started. And the thing is, when he rolled up into your office, I said right then, that's dangerous. His whole aura was dangerous to me, but you thought it was kind of cute because you didn't even tell Rashida that he had rolled up into your office. You just basically went over to Rashida's to kiki and cackle like, girl, can you believe this, girl? And letting her know that basically you have been dickmatized. Oh yeah, I said it. You have been dickmatized. He got you wide open. Wide open. You can't even see your knees. Girl, they so far out on the sides. You wide open, sis. You thought that was cute. You walked out, no, girl, I'm good, girl. I'm good, honey. You strutting Miss Lizzie. Walking out of there. Yeah, I'm going to be fine. For a couple hours. By the time you put that beautiful jade green dress on, honey, your life is in shambles, honey. I'm saying, there's karma. She will show up, honey. Yes, she will. Anyway, so that was like a whole big mess. Then you try to tell him to just go away. You don't want me to leave. You don't want me to leave. He knows. Like, he knows. He knows what he put down. Girl, he knows he stuck it in you sideways. I mean, he knows. Which makes him even more dangerous. Because he's just diabolical. Like I said, that's the word. Diabolical. Anyway, moving on. Jeff, another one. Diabolical. To sit and to speak to your wife that way, and you're a man of the cloth. You ain't shit. That Jeff, honey, I said, oh, Rashida. No way. Rashida, did you mean it? Did I mean what, Rashida? There you go. You're talking to me again. I'm like, what? There you go again, talking to me. This is why we don't take the same car. You know, like, you act like she get on your nerves. Girl, but it wasn't no act. I believe she really do get on your nerves. You was straight up talking shit to her. She said, when you said you loved me. I tell you that on every Sunday. She said, yeah, you say that for the people. You say it during the service. It's for the people. That's performative. For the people. He said, what's wrong with you? Are you on menopause or something? I said, she better than me. Because there's no way. There's no way. If you've ever experienced, I'm a man. So I only know what menopause looks like from sitting on this side and watching as a woman goes through it. And I deal with women all the time. Y'all know I did hair and all those things. I'm a hairdresser and all that. So yes, I've had the inside. I got the inside scoop on what menopause looks like when a woman is going through menopause. Can I say I don't know what you go through, but I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like. I've seen how vicious menopause can be. And it's the truth when it says some people will lose their minds behind menopause. I've seen some things, okay? I've seen some things. For a male to look a woman in her face and tell her, are you going through menopause or something, and make it something so trivial, you are diabolical. You are diabolical to even say it out of your mouth. If you think it, you should eat it up. If you've actually seen a woman go through that and you think that, you should be willing to eat it up. No matter how you feeling, because it's something terrible. I can't even imagine what it feels like to get, you know how irritated it is to get hot when you're hot and you can't cool off. But turn that on its side 10, 20 times to feel as though you got an internal furnace that's just burning up inside of you. I could imagine you want to lose your mind. Getting cold. You know, when I dealt with chemotherapy, I didn't know what it was. You know, it's crazy. You're sitting and telling somebody, oh yeah, I'm cold. But that takes on a whole different thing when you're going through actual low blood. Like your blood is low and you're getting cold. That's a whole different thing. When the body starts doing its own thing, that's a whole different thing. You can't just go put a coat on and get cool. When your blood is low, you literally, when you become cold, you are freezing, and it is to a point where you can hardly even think straight. I've dealt with that. And that wasn't nothing nice. It wasn't nothing nice. Going into the grocery store, the produce aisle, are you fucking kidding? Okay? Horrible. And I mean in the dead of summer. The produce aisle, like walking into Alaska with a goddamn thong on. But to flip it on the side and do it with heat, ain't no way. Ain't no way. When it's too hot outside, that's probably where these lines come on from my forehead. When they get too hot outside, you be mad as hell. So for it to just click on at any given time, crazy. And I've told y'all before, I've watched doing somebody do a rap on somebody. Y'all remember back when we didn't always use the phone, the setting phones that we use now to do raps on the girls' hair. We used to use that black gel. Y'all remember that black gel? You be doing a rap on the girls, and somebody sit under the dryer all that time for their hair to get dry, and that menopause kick in, and you sit and watch as the top of their head, because you hottest right here. You watch that top of that center part where you first start your circle. You watch as their body heats and that gel goes back to its original form. Help me, somebody. Don't tell me nothing about what the body can do. I've watched it literally go from completely dry back to its gelled form from their body heat. From their body heat. Crazy. And you trying to curl it. A mess. I literally had one of my clients, I had to take her and we started doing roller sets. We literally took her back. We had to go back in time. That's why I say technology is wonderful until it's not. We had to go back into what was old. The old don't never go out of style, really. Because you always, when new stuff don't work, you go back to the old. But we had to go back to doing, she had a little short haircut, and we had to go back to doing rollers. Because it just was a waste. Doing a wrap. And then she heat up when I'm trying to curl her hair, just a waste. So I know I went way off into a tangent, but I did that because I can. This is my channel. This is SpillitBoyTV. Welcome. Welcome. This is what I do over here. That's what I do. I will go on tangents. I will get on my soapbox. I will talk my shit. Okay? So it was necessary for me right then. Had to get it out. Diabolical. Pastor Jeff. Talk to your wife like that. You're a bastard. Like I said, I already named it. He's a prick. Anyway. I don't like him. He's cute, but I don't like him. And I love some child. I like Rashida. I liked her anyway because it's Latoya. But anyway, so I don't like Jeff. Down off my soapbox, but bam it, I'm back. Okay. So all of that about the menopause thing, he had me hot. I was in my fifis. I was over there like, so girl, roll that window down and smack him in the side of his forehead at him. That was terrible. She told him, if you actually love me and you meant it, we be having sex. She said, that's why I always have your back. I don't know what you're talking about. I always have your back. And I'm like, okay, so I'm listening to her, and I'm like, wow. Then he told her, I gave you a good life. This, that, thing, and the other. I said, oh, no. This conversation is just getting worse as we go on. It was getting worse. And then she hit him with the ha-ha. I said, oh, boom, bop, ping. She hit him. She uppercut the shit out of him. When she said, now you do realize, you thought you gave me a good life. You do realize it was my grandfather's endowment that actually bought this church. So the money that the grandfather gave her coming into the marriage, because that's how marriages used to work. In a traditional marriage, there was an endowment that comes with the woman. And her grandfather gave you that. And that money is what y'all used to buy this church. But you standing in her face telling her that you provided her and then he said, if you got something to say, then just say it. She said, I did. I said, oh. He was done too. She cracked his face. And she said, I just did. I said, come on, Miss Rashida, honey. She was clean though. She was so goddamn clean. So goddamn clean. And you know, it's the little things for me. Baby, when they pulled up to the event and they wasn't even speaking, honey. And she went over there and opened the door for her. She got out and it was all wet. I said, it's wet out there. Child, she grabbed that gown up, baby, and got the tip. I said, tipping in my heels. Shout out to TS. Tipping in my heels. She tipped on through there, baby, and got to where it was dry and dropped it. I said, come through. Come through, gorgeous. So clean. So clean. All of them were. All of them were. They were so clean. So clean. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's that whole thing. That is the thing that made me want to do fashion design. And that, when you see women and they just, all of that is why I design clothes to this day. All of that is why I'm a drag queen to this day. That's the hashtag goal. Just that goddamn pulled up, that pulled together, that clean, that polished, that's that thing. That's that thing that makes it all happen. That's what makes all the work and the stitching and all of that. I was sitting there like, they were so clean. I loved it. I loved it. I had the best time. Even down to old drunken ass Naomi. I said, look at Naomi, baby. She came up. She said, how do I look? I said, I know that's right. I know that's right. How do I look? And then her karma hit her. I said, oh, wait a minute, Naomi. Baby, before Naomi could get out of there, baby, the lawyer, her husband's lawyer, or ex-husband's lawyer, and the police showed up. Told her, let's step outside. And see, she's just ghetto. Okay? She ghetto. Even her ghetto girlfriends was like, girl, cut it loose. Like, give it up, turn it loose. Girl, you can't win this. Girl, they're gonna take you to jail, Miss Thing. All of these items that she was told you have to return them. Her husband is petty. I said, oh, and then when I seen who it was and who was playing them, I said, oh, they picked the perfect person. They picked the perfect person. Baby, he was on Tyler Perry, If Loving You Is Wrong, and he was a bastard on If Loving You. Baby, if he bring that over here, woo, we are in for a ride. He was something else. You understand me? He was something else. Oh, Jesus. Yes, he was. I love it. I said, come on, Tyler. Giving me something I can work with now. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, all her ring, her earrings, and I said, this is so cold-blooded. They made her take the earrings off, take the ring off, took the cars, left her with her Mercedes. Or was it a Benz? Yeah, no, her Mercedes Benz. I think that's what they left her with. It's a Mercedes Benz. But they took all her real good shit, her rolls and all that. They took that. Say all the things that were in both names and this, that thing, and enough. Tell them they take it and giving it to the new wife. And she's like, he is not giving that bitch my shit. It's mine. I'm like, girl, you tripping. You got 37 million. They took the painting. The one painting was worth $4 million. $4.1 million. They didn't do a haul. They don't want to do it in there, snatched it off the wall. I said, oh. Snatched it off the wall. I said, oh, jeez. I said, girl, you needed Medea. Because you know Medea would have cut it in half. So now it's worth 2.5, Abby. 2.65. 2.5. Child, listen, a mess. But that's your karma for you doing all this frivolous lawsuits and you're doing the most with him and he's doing the most with you. It's, again, y'all going at it. So that was that. She ended up going on off, and they ended up finding her. She done got totally drunk. She done went to the hood. She got, I said, look at her, child. She clean. She ain't got no jewelry on though. She sat up there. I said, girl, is that Thunderbird? Are you drinking Thunderbird out of a brown bag, bitch? What is going on, Miss Naomi? Thunderbird in the bag? Carried on. She's drunk. They talked to her family. And meanwhile, when all that's going on, the friends are trying to call Geneva in the car, trying to maneuver between her husband, between William and old boy back there in the back seat throwing shade, and goofball ain't catching it. I said, oh, it's just too much. Then he talking about, yeah, we're going to set him up. We'll set him up with Tiffany. This, that, thing, and the other. She's like, and I'm like, pay attention to your wife. Because she like, oh, no. No, because you stuck. You stuck. I said, this is crazy. But they find Naomi. Naomi's like, I'm just a mess. You know, her hair was all wild at this point. She's like, I'm not even going. I'm just going on her. And they're like, oh, well, that's good. That's good. When the girls really got to talk to her, because they get down there, they still wasn't sure whether or not he was going to show up. They didn't know if her ex was going to show up or not to the event, but they didn't want her there drunk, acting a fool, no way. So it didn't make no difference. Everything was going on down there to the table. They had gotten seated and everything. And the first embarrassment was Bridget's boyfriend. Just ridiculous. He is as absolutely ridiculous as everybody says he is. He is just downright embarrassing. He really is. And I mean, ghetto is one thing. Not knowing is another thing. But just over the top, just ignorant is what he is. He's ridiculous. It got to be sex. It couldn't be anything else other than sex. Because he's just, I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with being from the project. Because some of the baddest people in the world come from the projects. It ain't about where you start. It's where you end up. He's just ignorant. He's ignorant. And I ain't take that back. He ain't ignorant. He ignorant. IGNANT. Ignorant. Ignorant. He really is. He's just ridiculous. And just too much. He was just too much. He was irritating and oh Jesus, he's a nightmare. Tiffany, they sit Tiffany next to, and William is aggravating. William is extra. Like you don't say, shut up, William. Shut up. Shut it down. But he forcing this thing with Tiffany to be with old boy, and old boy, he mad now. Because he got attitude because he done switch gears because he ain't right. He ain't all there. Let's be very, very clear. The name of this episode was Hushed Tones. Honey, listen. He ain't all there. Jovon is not all there. Jovon was triggered. Okay? He was triggered. And he was ready to go. And he literally flipped that mess on and was doing all this, honey, him and Tiffany. And Tiffany, you know, they can't usually get her to date nobody. And she was just eating it up. And they was just cooing and kiki and honey, and it was driving Geneva crazy to the point where she was about to have a complete anxiety attack. She go running off. Rashida go running off. Then Tiffany got to go to the bathroom. Then all the girls end up together, but they end up being able to talk to Naomi, and Naomi said she wasn't coming. And they were like, whew, good, no problem. But Geneva was totally crashing out. Totally crashing out. And then the whole thing with Tiffany's like, oh, he said, you know, things he said, and I just love it. And if as long as he's not telling a lie, I mean, he's so cool. Oh, girl, how'd you keep him from us all this time? You knew him, girl. And it was eating her. It was eating her alive. I was like, that is the karma that I was talking about. How karma comes back, girl, and she don't never deliver nice messages. Karma is she's nasty. That's what she does. So that was a whole big old mess. And now we got an issue with Tiffany liking Jovon. Jovon don't really like Tiffany. Jovon was doing that to get at Geneva, and it was getting at Geneva. Geneva was about to, her button was about to fall down. I said, girl, that's a mess. It's a mess. And then to make things worse, here comes old boy with his new Caucasian wife, and she was real. She was, oh, he really got her thinking she's something special. I said, oh, she was a whole mess. Coming there calling, what she call her, the witch doctor or some old shit she called her, was out of order. Like you literally walk into a situation where you're with all her actual friends and you talking smack. And Tiffany called her on it. She was like, what'd you say? Her name is Naomi, and we are her friends. Checked her real quick. Checked her. I said, checked her. And she got over there. She all about the money. Oh, yes, these earrings. She said, and that Tiffany, she said, they said something about her earrings. And she said, oh, yes, they cost this much money. And this, that thing, and the other. And Tiffany said, yeah. She said, but see, girl, they look better on melanated skin. They used to look better on Naomi. I said, oh. Never would you let everybody know, honey, that you got on borrowed jewelry. Well, they ain't borrowed, but confiscated jewelry. I said, oh, shut her right down. But she was just on my nerves because she was doing too much. She's doing too much. Way too much. Way too much. And then as we were drawing to a close, they said, oh, you have got to be kidding, honey. They turned around. When I tell you, I don't know what type of a disco nap that Miss Naomi went over there and had, but she came in with a whole different gown and a whole new attitude. She hit that door, baby, and they were turning around like, oh, God, she's giving, ooh, 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 ooh. I got a new attitude. I said, yes, indeed. Wearing a new dress, new hair. She was ready, and she was clean. I actually liked the second dress better than the first one. I said, come through, money. Come through, money. And we actually broke out right there. I said, Tyler, good job. Broke out right there because I got a feeling. Ooh, ooh. She great show her whole black ass. The whole black ass. I love it. So listen, you got to get into this. You got to get into this. Divorced Sistas is the way to go. You got to get you got to go through BET Plus. I don't think anywhere else you could actually see it. You got to buy that subscription. So I hate to tell you all that, but you got to buy that subscription because you're missing out. That's some good shit. It's good. It's good. All right. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Y'all have a good one.